Hello everyone, welcome back to Hills and Hollers Homestead, Homesteader Mike, and I gotta tell you, so all the years that we've had gardens, raised beds and stuff up here, we've always had trouble with deer. Always, no matter what we do, we've always had trouble with deer. Even if we fenced it, we've always had trouble with deer. Now there's a lot of people say you do like a 2-layer fence where you go, you know, an outer fence, a little inner fence or something like that. Kind of give it that, what they refer to as a 3D effect, because a deer won't jump where it can't see, where it can't judge. But, you know, there's a lot of work. Fencing materials are very expensive. Fence posts are expensive. Everything, of course, we know everything's got expensive. So this year, when I come out here and I tilled all this up for the corn and the beans and the melons and the sunflower seeds and everything, for the pigs and everything. Now, of course, we are doing pretty excellent this year. That's probably about 12-foot tall corn, 12 foot, most of it, I'm going to say. This is probably a 7.5-foot sunflower, and they're covered in bees. So it's all growing really well. And there's ears of corn coming on and everything. Now, when I first started, or when this corn first started growing and everything like that, I didn't put fence up for it because I had a plan. Now, we always have plans, best laid plans, huh? And I had trouble with deer. They were coming in there. I was running deer out of here all the time. Multiple times a day I was running out here just to run deer out. And so what I had done is I bought this stuff. It's called bone sauce. And I'll put a link to it in the description. You can make it yourself. It is time intensive. And I just don't have time. I'll just tell you that way. You know, 8.5 hours a day. I got my regular paying job. Then I got to come out here and catch up on everything else. So I just don't have time. It's very time intensive. But they make it. It is made with animal bones. Charred to the point where they actually turn into kind of like a paste, and it's called bone sauce. Well, this particular brand is from a guy in North Carolina. He's got a Facebook page, a YouTube channel, and they got their own website. It's called Perma Pastures Farm, and the guy's name's Billy. He's a veteran. Seems like a really good guy. I watch a lot of his videos and stuff. Very informative. He's really deep into permaculture practices and stuff. So there's a lot of good lessons there in a lot of his videos and stuff. Well, they make this stuff and they sell it. And all it is, now an 8-ounce jar, an 8-ounce mason jar is going to cost you $95. And I know that sounds crazy. But if you think about an 8-ounce mason jar that you can cut several times over with beef tallow, where you can get, you know, just save your beef trimmings and your fat from your beef trimmings and stuff like that, render it down, and you can mix it and cut it with that. And you can make 32 ounces, if not more, out of it. So what I did was I held it and I cut it about a quarter of a jar with about a quarter of beef tallow. And I come out here and I drove a couple stakes, and you can see the discoloration here. So there's a stake there, there's a stake down on the other end there, and then there's a couple up here around the corn. And then these locust trees back here, these black locust trees, I went ahead and slathered some of it on those. And just take a paintbrush, and you can see, like I said, the discoloration. It smells, well, it's hard to describe the smell. It smells like something like charred, burnt meat to a degree. It's got another couple of different scents to it that, you know, you can't ask me if something smells terrible, because I was a paramedic for 13 years and I've been in healthcare for 32 years. I've smelled things that people shouldn't smell. So to me, it doesn't smell that bad, but it's an off-putting taste anyway, or off-putting smell rather. I've never tasted it. I'm not going to. But anyways, I come out here and I chased deer out of here all day one day, and I said, you know what, I'm done. As soon as I got done with work, I come out here and I took my stakes, I drove them in, and I just, for whatever reason, just hadn't done it at that point. But I drove them in around the gardens, and I have not, to this day, I've had these out here for about 3 weeks now. I have not seen a deer around any of this. Now, they say it'll keep all the critters away. I still have bunnies running around here. I see rabbits. Hell, I jumped 2 rabbits up walking out here. I seen rabbits right up in here, but none of this is getting eaten on. None of these leaves stretch clear out here. None of these plants at the base, at the bottom, where you would think you would see rabbit nibbles, it's not getting eaten on. So this stuff, to me, the proof is in the pudding, okay? I didn't have to come out here and drive multiple T-posts. I didn't have to go buy a bunch more T-posts. I didn't have to go buy a bunch of stakes or fence. I didn't have to take all that time, put it out there. I literally drove, I think, 5 or 6 stakes, took a paintbrush, slathered some of that bone sauce on there, and went up here on the trees And in 10 minutes out here, I had the whole area covered and not seen a deer out here since then. So again, proof is in the pudding. It is pricey, it's $95, but the results speak for themselves, because my corn is really taking off now. This garden is not bothered at all by anything, except for the whiny pigs over here. I came out to feed them. So I will put a link in the description to that. It's Billy's Bone Sauce Perma Pastures Farm out of, guy's right outside of Asheville, North Carolina. Check out his channel on YouTube, lots of good info on there. Think about it in the future, even in your own yard, if you don't have like, you know, acreage like we do, even in your own yard and your own little garden. If you're always constantly kind of keeping critters and animals and stuff out of there, I'm actually going to take, and I haven't done it yet, just slather some of it around the posts, on the upright posts on the raised beds down at our garden, and just to keep them out. And you can, even if you got just little wooden raised beds, 1 or 2 boards high, you can just swipe some on the sides of it here and there, and it'll deter the animals. So it works. I wouldn't tell you to spend $25 or $95 on anything of 8 ounces, especially something, you know, that we're going to be spending our hard-earned money on. But it works. There's no question about it. Like I said, I have not chased a deer out here in about 3 weeks. So link in the description. Keep working the Starvet system. Get yourself prepared. Stay prepared. Take care, and God bless.